So Dana,
Absolutely.
happy Tuesday to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
That's what I'm talking about. So how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right.
Doing great.
So if you wouldn't mind, I understand in 1988 you started your business that's really male dominated. You had a vision, and 30 years later, you're still here. So can you tell us a little bit about that journey and why you do what you do?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that I think we face as a people is not just that glass ceiling, but that brick ceiling.
Brick ceiling, all right.
That we can't get above.
I got you.
And I come from a family of business people,
Understand.
of innovators,
Okay.
people who value the brain that they were given
Yes.
and use it to solve problems.
I love that.
So I had a regular job. Actually, I was a kid when I started my business.
All right.
And the personal computers were starting to come out, and it sat on the office, on a desk in the office, and I thought, what is that? And one of the professionals in the office showed me something very, very simple, and I said, now why is that big, huge box sitting there, and that's the only thing it can do? I know it can do more. So I got after it.
So you ask questions.
Absolutely.
Okay, inquisitive.
I asked questions. I bought books. I read a lot. I basically started educating myself, and then it clicked and it said, okay, now what are we going to do with this knowledge?
All right.
So I went to my supervisors and my superiors and I said, hey, guess what? That equipment can do this for us.
Okay.
Let me show you how.
That's awesome.
So they were impressed with that.
Right.
But ever hungry, that wasn't good enough for me. And I thought, now if I can do this here, can I do this to help others? Because my mom owned a business, my aunts owned businesses, my uncles owned businesses. We're an enterprising people.
I understand.
So the blood runs true in me.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And I tried to advance at the company that I was working with.
Okay.
But they looked and they saw young, they saw me,
Yes.
and they said no.
I understand.
And I said, see you later.
Exactly. You did not stop there.
Not at all.
So that's a really important thing to highlight. No matter what your passion is, you may run into obstacles, you may run into challenges, and you can't let others define for you what is for you, which is essentially what you did with your career.
Absolutely.
All right.
And let me tell you, to give props and really thanks to another Black-owned business, it was my aunt who helped me make that leap.
Okay, man.
Now, she'd been in business at this point probably for 20 years or so, a successful business as well, and brought me on as an operations manager because she could see the moving and shaking that I was doing.
Right.
And I needed that push. So I made the leap.
That's awesome.
And it has been nonstop since then. We have focused on the small, underserved businesses.
Well, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
The name of her business is?
Computer Information Station.
That's right.
Incorporated.
Computer Information Station, 30 years in the game.
Yes.
So yeah, please tell us more about the business and the services you have to offer.
Absolutely. So IT is where it is in today's world. I mean, from automated doors,
Right.
automated security. People have Ring cameras in their homes.
Right.
So really it's becoming more and more an interconnected world.
Right.
And I found that small businesses kind of don't know where to fit into that space. And sometimes we pay too much for it.
Right.
We don't get the services that we need. And who we're working with maybe doesn't really understand what we are doing.
I understand.
So we set out to align ourselves with businesses, whatever that business may offer.
Okay.
You're the professional. Let us take care of all the techie stuff, the geeky stuff, the things behind the scenes.
All right. Like,
So
give me
your
an example.
systems-
Give me an example of geeky stuff.
Here we go. So for example, you want to, in your office, you've got customers who come in from time to time. You're going to have a business meeting.
Right.
They need to get onto the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Well, you think that's easy. I can go out to Best Buy, I can get a router, I can put it on, and everybody can connect, right?
Right.
Everyone that's in your office and the guys who are sitting outside your office connected to your Wi-Fi, stealing your trade secrets,
I understand.
and or using your Wi-Fi,
Right.
and or your employees are doing their work, and they're pretty savvy, but they see something that looks very legitimate and they click on it.
I understand.
The majority of the cybersecurity hacks that are actually happening these days are coming from the inside. It's not the outside threat. A lot of business owners don't realize that just because you've got a firewall, that doesn't mean you're protected.
I understand.
So what we do is we help them to basically shore up the
Yes,
security posture,
okay.
and to say, here's how you protect yourself. Because even the small guy is not safe from the cyber agents out there. So
I understand.
so that's what we do. We make that stuff easy. It looks hard,
Right.
but we make it easy, and we put the business owner really at ease with their systems. They're not afraid of it anymore. They don't, think, okay, I've got to spend thousands of dollars to get there.
Gotcha.
No, we got where we are today because we care.
So basically, you're a solution-oriented IT expert that understands the business model of a business or a nonprofit organization, and you're able to bring the appropriate solution at a very respectable price that doesn't burden the business, essentially.
Absolutely.
So,
And we're nice too. We're nice people. We're fun.
Yes, indeed. I can attest to that. Dana, it's awesome. I think you guys, independent of the workshops, if you are looking to try to identify how to optimize your business with technology, I highly suggest that you meet with Dana, do a consultation, and she can kind of walk you through the options and make it make sense for you ultimately. So let's talk about these workshops. It seems like the digital divide is really impacting brown and black communities. I know for us at CoBiz, we were looking for a way to create an opportunity for people to not be threatened by technology, whether you're a young person, whether you're an elder. And so we really wanted to establish these workshops so people can ask questions without being embarrassed. People can kind of get some guidance in terms of walking people through things, and ultimately become more confident with this powerful resource, whether it's your phone, your computer, or your laptop, or simply just your IT infrastructure at home. So can you tell us a little bit, share with us why it's important to you that our people are informed?
Absolutely. Whereas 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we got our news through the newspaper.
Correct.
And then that shifted to, we got our news through television. And that has now shifted to what each of us holds in our hands, our cell phone.
Gotcha.
So really the information that is being divulged around the world and in our communities is coming to a majority of us through that cell phone.
Gotcha.
And some of it's true, some of it's not. But some of our elders and some of our not so elders are actually being left out of that knowledge base because they may not really know how to utilize the equipment that they have.
Right.
What's always been really important to me is I've always been, we come from people who are storytellers. That's who we are.
Okay.
I have always, if I learn a thing, I'm gonna pass it on.
Understand.
Because someone passed it on to me.
Right.
So that's why it's important to me. It's important for people grandparents to be able to communicate with their grandchildren.
Yes, indeed. FaceTime or
Absolutely,
WhatsApp, yeah.
absolutely. It's important for those grandchildren to grow up in our communities and to be able to compete out there on the open market and to not be classed out
Yes.
because they don't have some of the basic building blocks.
Okay.
So really that's what we set out to do. At a high level and at a low level. Let's educate our people and let's bring our businesses up to the level so that we can compete. We've got the smarts, we've got the know-how.
Yes, we do.
Let's bring the technology.
So in that spirit, in terms of know-how, I know with these workshops, 8 workshops every second and third Wednesdays of the month, and the intention is during lunchtime, so part of our Lunch and Learn series. One thing you shared with me, you want to start with the fundamentals. Can you speak to why the fundamentals are important?
Absolutely. So I'm going to speak from 2 points, for the community, but also for business owners. We all probably are able to use a piece of software with what we think is the right way to do it.
Right.
And I'm just going to use an example. Excel, for example. We might create a list, put some pricing on it, and sort that list.
Right.
But Excel can do so much more.
Correct, again.
So if we start with a good foundation, what is this piece of software? What is its purpose? And now, thinking about your business, what you're trying to accomplish, where does it really fit? So let's use the right tool for the job.
Okay.
And so by starting with the fundamentals, we can help our audience use the right tool for the job and not waste time and energy and to become more efficient. So we're going to start really basic,
Yes.
give everybody a good foundation, then we're just going to build from there.
We'll be doing an intro to business technology in our first workshop. We'll also have a second workshop around Office 365, how to optimize it, how to use it. We'll then be addressing cybersecurity, which is sometimes a very high level. People kind of feel like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? Dana's gonna break it down to you, make it really simple. We'll also be addressing accounting and financial software that you can utilize to make sure that your books are up to date, so that, let's say for example, different grants, different federal programs, you'll be eligible for by having your books in order. Additionally, we'll be talking about business continuity or disaster recovery, something that's really, really important. When people had this shelter in place, a lot of businesses were impacted. They didn't have a plan in terms of how to respond to those type of situations, and so Dana can help you identify that. And then we'll also be talking about identity management for your business in terms of there's a million passwords, how do we secure them, how do we keep track of them, which also can be a potential threat depending on if we're using the same passwords. We'll also be talking about cloud enablement. For many people, there's a little quite a bit misnomers in regard to the cloud, and so Dana's going to tell you how to use the cloud, how to use it in a safe way, how to use it to be more efficient and operationally sound. And then lastly, we talk about business process automation. Sometimes people kind of think automation is like a terrible thing in terms of losing jobs, which that is a potential impact, but there's also ways to use it in a way that empowers your team and empowers your business or even your family operations. And so those are some of the workshops coming with TechLit. And once again, every second and third, did I say Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think you said Tuesday, but it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I
Second,
apologize.
third Wednesday.
I apologize. Second and third Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. And we'll be doing it in person as well as virtually. So if you can't make it in person, we'll be streaming it virtually for you to also attend. Before we close, any last words you'd like to share in terms of how people can contact you and anything else that you'd love to share with us?
Absolutely, thanks for that opportunity. So you can look us up on our website at CISnetworks.net. And you can also give us a call at 510-255-2950. We're also on social media. You can find us out there. But I just want to give a shout out to CoBiz. This place is amazing. I've met all of the staff and the team, and I'm impressed with them. And so I want to work together.
Thank you.
And let's do what we can I love the black and brown. Let's bring our community up. Let's raise the level.
We're always talking about we can't find diverse folks that look like us that can share expertise. Here's someone who's more than willing and capable. So please spread the word, tell your grandparents, tell your children, tell the young professionals in your network, and let's be present and support her as well, as she's taking time out of her schedule to support the things that we are trying to do and trying to be better at. So, one love and happy Tuesday to you all.